Welcome to The Glass Ceiling, the podcast where business leaders share their stories, struggles and triumphs.
There is a lot in that. There's a lot of learning.
We sort of had different views on how the business should be ran.
The next 10 years looks like for South Australia.
Startup's the easiest.
I'm your host, Marissa Hankinson from Wavebreaker, and I'm passionate about amplifying their voices. Join me as we explore the highs and lows of innovation, entrepreneurship and leadership. From founders to CEOs, our guests will share their insights, experiences and advice on how to succeed and make a lasting impact. Get ready for inspiring conversations and valuable lessons. Let's shatter the glass ceiling, one story.
Want your own video podcast? Or just ready to get in front of the right audience?
At Wavebreaker Productions, we specialise in full-service video podcast production and guest appearance and PR services.
We help business owners, experts, and change makers show up with confidence on camera and on the mic.
From filming and editing to distribution and promotion, we handle it all, so you can focus on your message.
Whether you're launching your own show or looking to appear on aligned podcasts, we'll help you get seen, heard, and remembered.
This is more than a podcast. It's your platform.
Helping you be seen, heard, and remembered.
Find out more at wavebreakerproductions.com.
Joining me today is Jesse Cordoma, a civil engineer turned entrepreneur and the creative force behind Cusion, a new cocktail system aimed to bring bar-quality drinks into homes and venues with ease. The idea came to Jess after a failed attempt at making French martinis for friends, an experience that left him with a $134 hole in his pocket and a bottle of Chambord gathering dust. That frustration sparked innovation. He envisioned a solution: recyclable pods filled with pre-measured ingredients, delivering consistent cocktails at the push of a button. Since then, Jess has transformed that concept into a working prototype, trialled at the Adelaide 500, and is now preparing for a full launch in late 2025. Along the way, he's filed patents, partnered with local designers and engineers, and has earned the title of South Australian Young Entrepreneur of the Year. Jess's story is one of curiosity, grit, and willingness to rethink the ordinary. He's here to talk about turning a kitchen mishap into a business, the art of simplifying complexity, and what it takes to bring a bold idea to life. Jess, a huge welcome to The Glass Ceiling. I am so excited. Not the fact that I do enjoy a cocktail or two. That is not the reason why I'm excited. I'm actually excited to learn about your journey. So tell us a little bit about, first off, your childhood. I hear you're not Adelaide born and bred.
No. Oh, you can tell me more about that later then.
No.
No, thank you for having me here. This is, I appreciate the opportunity and excited to be here. So, a bit about myself. I was actually born in Victoria in a country town, or a large country town, Mildura, if you're familiar with where that is. But I grew up on a small country town quite close to Mildura named Robinvale. So, my parents were both farmers. My dad is actually one of 12. So it's
That's a big family.
Yeah, a big Italian family. Most are farmers as well. So my parents wanted me to, I guess, have another opportunity in life. So they decided to move me to Adelaide to have, I guess, a proper education in a city. And yeah, that's what brought me here to Adelaide. I think it was back in 2005 or 2006, and I've been here since. So
Okay, so was that high school?
Middle school. So I would have been year 6 around then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where it definitely shows a difference that I'm from the UK. We don't have middle schools, and I always get confused about that. So what, we did 13?
Yeah, I would have been around 2006. I was 11, actually.
11, okay.
12.
Yeah. And do you have siblings? If your dad was one of 12, are you an only child?
No, I'm an only child.
Snap,
Funnily enough.
So am I an only
there
child.
you go.
It's an interesting time being an only child, I think.
Yeah.
Are you we're going to talk about Cusion in a minute, but for an only child, are you quite sociable?
Yes and no. I guess I was forced to be quite sociable growing up. I went to about, I think it was 5 different schools in 6 years. So
okay.
I was born in Victoria, but we moved to Sydney for a period of time. I was in Mildura, then I went back to Robinvale, been to Euston, which is like a close by town as well, and then to Adelaide. So been all over the place. So almost was forced to be sociable, but also spent a lot of time alone. So I do like being a bit introverted at times.
What's that word? Is that the do they call it an omnivert? Is that what they call it? Is it where you can be extrovert when the time is appropriate for you to be extrovert? You like quiet time, and you actually like to be re-energized by being alone, versus where I'm completely the opposite.
Yeah.
And I can just keep going if I'm surrounded by people.
Yeah.
It's right the other way.
That summarizes me pretty well. I'm also coincidentally ambidextrous, so I play soccer with my right and footy with my left. So I'm just all over the place, basically.
That's not a problem. No problem. So, what did you go on to university, or did you?
Yeah. So I went to do engineering. So I studied civil structural environmental engineering at the University of Adelaide. I properly graduated, got the grades I wanted, which was fantastic. The job I wanted as well. And that's where Cusion was actually developed. It was in my final year of uni was where the original concept design first started.
But I heard, so can I ask, your dad and mum were farmers.
Yes.
So do you think any of your entrepreneurial or that element of craving came from your parents, or do you think it's more of an inner thing? Were you inspired by other people? Where did you think some of this entrepreneurship came from?
It's a really great question. And I honestly can't point my finger on exactly what. I guess some people just have that entrepreneurial spirit. My first experience of that was in my university days. I like to say I was quite a prepared and organized uni student. I always had, the perfect cheat sheets and everything for my uni exams, and the perfect notebooks, and I'd always make really good resumes and stuff. And I actually made a little mini business out of it back in the day, where I would sell my cheat sheets to university students. I actually have a really funny story where I shared one of my cheat sheets. I'm not sure if I'm even allowed to say this, so this might be a bit controversial.
It doesn't. It's gone now.
It's done.
You got the parchment. It's okay. Go on.
That's it. So I was in a university exam. I think I'll kind of actually remember the exact exam.
Don't name it.
Actually,
principle of the story, you don't need to name it.
That's sure. And I remember rocking up to my exam with your cheat sheet, and I sat down and I look over to the table next to me, and there's a student I don't recognize completely at all. Haven't seen them through my entire uni.
Was this one of these ones that didn't rock up to lectures?
Never seen this person in my life, and I look over and I see their cheat sheet, and it's my cheat sheet. The one that I think I gave to one student, and then I found it had distributed across the entire sort of course.
There should have been a commission or something, commission trail.
I know that was probably my first failed business attempt. Then I should have capitalized on that a bit better. But that was some fun things I did back on my university days. I remember tidying up resumes and doing almost like some marketing things, even though it had nothing to do with engineering or Cusion or anything at the time. But I was always trying to find, fun and different things to do. So to see how I could capitalize on it.
Yeah, that's sounds. So did you go into that space at all? Did you work in the civil construction space?
Yeah, absolutely. So straight after, like I said, I had the grades I wanted. I already had a graduate position in my final year of uni. And that was with GHD. So they're a large...
I know GHD.
Yeah, they're great multidisciplinary consultancy. I graduated as a civil engineer there originally. I worked there for 5 years. So a solid, 5 or 6 years.
I'm there trying to do all the maths of work out how old you are, but I will ask you how old
you are in
a second.
Yeah, no. But no, GHD were fantastic. So they were a great place to work at, straight out of uni, and they were actually really supportive of that. They were aware of me working on Cusion at the time. I was only doing bits and pieces in the background, but they were fully supportive, as well as my sporting as well. So I'm a huge lover of sports.
Okay, so tell us about the sport. So you talked about your soccer is left foot and your footy right foot. So for people who know my accent and the UK followers, soccer is the football and the footy is the AFL.
Is the AFL.
So yeah. So are you part of are you part of teams? Are you still involved?
I'm a sprinter actually. So I did they were back in my school days when I played soccer and footy, or barely played football.
Okay.
But my big sport growing up was actually tennis. So I was a big tennis player, a huge Roger Federer fan.
Yes.
And unfortunately, during my off season for tennis, I tore my ACL playing soccer, and that sort of ended a bit of my soccer and tennis
Were you
career.
on a trajectory with that tennis? Were you like state and that kind of thing?
I did play quite competitively, but tennis is a tough sport. Mentally, I probably wasn't quite there to be able to play the sport to that level. Those top tennis players are fantastic.
Oh, the resilience and and it does become a mind game.
Absolutely. But I still love the sport. It was a little bit of a blessing in disguise though, because the years I had to take off from sport, and then I needed a knee reconstruction. It was on my 18th birthday actually. I tore my ACL, so that was a bit rough. It let me sort of recenter myself and to pursue, I guess, a different sport. And I'd always been a fast runner as a
So they were gutted to leave you, leave you if you were a fast runner.
Yeah. And I always did it as a bit of a secondary sport when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then coming back from my knee reconstruction, I just got a call from one of my old coaches, and he said, "Oh, I heard you're recovered. Did you want to come back and give running a crack?" And ever since then, I've been a sprinter. So I just competed in the stall gift recently.
So what distance?
100 meters, yeah.
100 meters.
100 meters. So, I ran at the stall. I raced against Gout, so he's all the face of running at the moment. He's fantastic, super talented. So it was a great experience, and it's just such a good work-life balance, actually, doing, working at GHD at the time, working on my business, but then the sport really balanced it out. So I'm quite lucky to have had that sort of outlet.
Yeah, definitely. It is an outlet because sometimes it can be all-consuming.
Absolutely.
So let's go back to, I did loosely mention the French martinis.
Yes.
So let's go way back. So we had the resumes, the marketing of the cheat sheets, those kind of things. But you're saying
my legal activity back at
yes. So your inspiration. This was the last year of uni. So really, this has been a long time coming. So when was the start of the Cusion journey?
So, like I said, I already had the job I wanted, got the grades I wanted. So in my last year of uni, I had one elective left. So I decided to do something completely, not random, but different, something a bit more lighthearted and fun as opposed to your heavy maths and physics sort of courses that we were doing. So I decided to do a course known as the Entrepreneur's Tech Challenge with the University of Adelaide. And that sort of decision ended up changing my entire life, which was quite funny.
So you're thinking this is something lighthearted, give it a go.
Yeah, just something a bit of fun. And the whole point of it was to sort of bring, university students, to get them exposed to, what it means to be an entrepreneur, to find a problem, find a solution, go through that whole process. And, you'd ultimately have to go pitch to a panel. Yeah. It was like a mini competition, and
Shark Tank eat your heart out.
Yeah, pretty much, very much so. And it was all based on a very, it was meant to be a tech-based solution that we would have to sort of find a solution to. I remember even back then, everyone was doing apps, which is completely understandable.
I know you've got AI that do apps within minutes.
Very interesting. Currently now, I know I'm probably going a bit back and forth.
It's okay.
Being part of the University of Adelaide now, I can explain that journey later. But a lot of the sort of products now are the same in terms of their apps, but just add AI to it now. So it's kind of funny how flash forward 5 years later, it's that's still the sort of
that's the thing. So you went a completely different path.
Yeah, I wanted something physical. I wanted to get hands on. So
you want to be able to touch it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And in very typical engineering fashion of myself, I remember I made a massive spreadsheet when we were trying to find the problem and solution. So I had no idea what I was going to invent at that point in time. And I was with a group of other uni students as well, so it wasn't just myself.
It must be hard you're doing this subject, and in some respects there's pressure to invent or to find the problem and the solution as part of this course curricula, you know, you'd be there thinking, you know, when you hear about it, it's not a structured methodology around entrepreneurship that you think. Is that how you were taught at the university, or?
There was a structured sort of program in terms of like teaching you in terms of how to find a problem, you know, what could be a good solution and the sort of steps that would be required to bring that vision or that solution to life. But in terms of finding the solution itself, that's would
got
be
to come
on you.
from
Exactly. So what I did to find that was I made this massive spreadsheet, went about my daily life, and literally noted down every single problem I encountered in my.
Oh, okay. Was there a lot?
Yeah.
Was this spreadsheet like this?
The spreadsheet, I probably had over 100 different rows of things. And all I would do was write the problem, and then, you know, at the end of the week, I would go down and write just a solution, what I thought would be, you know, something fun or innovative.
You can definitely tell you've got an engineer background, by the way, Jess.
I get that a lot. Unfortunately.
You definitely got, yeah.
Yeah, and that's where I had the experience of that French martini scenario that you mentioned.
Yep.
So the actual context to that was, it was in my final year of uni when I was making the spreadsheet, and I went to a pub. I can't remember which one it was. I think
Don't name it.
don't need
Otherwise, it'll have to get edited out anyway.
That's it, yeah. And just decided to try a French martini. Hadn't actually had one before, but I
What is a French martini?
So
go on.
Pineapple juice, vodka, I believe, and Chambord liqueur are the.
Yeah, Chambord liqueur. I do like Chambord
Yeah,
liqueur.
so it's delicious. So never had one. Always loved cocktails. I was never a beer drinker. Hadn't discovered wine at that point in time.
No, I think that's like a 25-year plus kind of
that's
thing.
it. Still too young for it. So
Okay.
But no, cocktails were my thing. So decided to order this French martini, and it blew my mind. I'm like, this is amazing. They had a happy hour coincidentally at this place, so it was only $15, and I thought, yeah, that's great. Let's try and make this at home. So
You went and got all the ingredients?
I invited a bunch of friends over. It wasn't not just to make this single French martini, but it was just to.
It was part of the evening.
Yeah, exactly. Wanted to show off my cocktail skills. So, you know, I Googled how to make a French martini, found this online recipe, looked at the ingredients. I'm like, okay, let's go get them. You know, I'd have to go to Woolies to grab the pineapple juice, and then the vodka and Chambord liqueur. You know, you can't just buy small portions of it. You'd have to buy the whole bottle.
And it's expensive as well.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's it. And especially the liqueurs as well.
Yeah.
Since they're a bit more niche, it's, yeah. They cost an arm and a leg, especially
and
for a uni student. Exactly.
You're a student. You're very generous, by the way.
It was, yeah, that was a bit of a hit back then for me. So I think you said it was $134. It's guaranteed to be more now.
Yeah.
As prices go up, obviously. But I remember making it, followed this online recipe, and it was terrible. It was
a fail.
It was the worst French martini I've ever tasted. It's too embarrassed to show my friends, so didn't even make it.
Oh
for
no,
them.
went down the drain.
And that is completely true. That Chambord liqueur is still in my cupboard.
Gathering
the same
dust.
one. 6 years, 5 or 6 years later.
You should keep it.
You
should. It must have a nostalgic. You need to like maybe do something like write on the label the date or something like this.
Yeah.
Or get your friends to sign the label like we're there that night because it was the start of a process.
Yeah, that bottle might be worth something one day.
You never know. You never know.
That's it. And that's what I noted on my in my spreadsheet at the time. That was a problem. I couldn't make this same cocktail at home. The ingredients were far too expensive. So that's where the concept for Cusion sort of started. So I pitched it during this course, this E-Tech challenge, and then we ultimately ended up winning the competition, which was fantastic.
So did that result in any funding to help you go to the next stage?
Exactly. I think it was about $10,000 back then.
That's fantastic. So what year would this have been?
Oh, good question. 2018, I think. 2018 or 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just really good to, a lot of times people see a success and they think that the success has just been like, the last 6 months, 12 months. But actually when you start to drill down, it's like that iceberg image and it's a lot longer and a lot of different patterns of failure or, as you said, you would have probably had prototypes and things like that. So we're talking 2018 that you got this 10 grand worth of funding.
Yeah,
which is
that's
fantastic achievement.
Yeah, the uni were really supportive of the venture. Obviously, we got the prize money, which was great. Although the concept was started back then, and I had been doing bits and pieces throughout, the next 5 years or so. Really, it was only probably the last 18 months or about a year where I've committed fully to Cusion, and it's,
So you're not employed now. You've gone all in.
I've gone all in. Yeah, took the plunge.
You took the plunge How
about
did
6
it feel?
months ago. So
How did it feel?
A mixed bag of emotions. You feel everything. It's being an engineer, I'm very risk adverse. So there's a few turning points. There was a few points through my career
I was
where
going to say
I was.
it didn't go from 2018 to the next 6 months, and I know you said you've tweaked it.
Yeah.
Well, as you said, was there any really significant milestones over the last 6 years?
Yeah, there were probably 3 I can think of. So straight after the E-Tech Challenge, obviously the idea was fresh in my mind. I thought maybe we can pursue this a little bit further, see where this would go. So the following year, I was already working full time, but there was a competition called the Institute of Engineering Technology Present Around the World Comp.
Okay.
So again, another pitch style event, Shark Tank style, but it was more engineering focused, which suited me. I could talk about the design of the machine forever. So that was more my bread and butter, and I ended up winning that competition as well, which was fantastic. So that came with a little bit of prize money. I won the South Australian comp, so I was going to go represent South Australia in the national, and then ultimately into the international.
So how did you go?
Well, COVID hit. It was 2019.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was 2019 or 2020. So
like travel, but
the whole comp got canned, basically. So
that's so sad.
Sadly, never got to present it further. And it was almost a blessing in disguise, though, because the design hadn't been quite refined there. And further talking to, getting legal advice later down the track, it was probably good that I didn't expose too much of the invention.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have been NDA'd or anything like that as
Not
part
at
of
that
that
point in
competition.
time.
It would have been very in the public domain. So that could have, as you said, that could have worked against you further down the line.
But luckily there wasn't. I didn't disclose too much about it, and it was very early stage, and the design has obviously changed significantly since. So it's been luckily, like I said, a bit of a blessing in disguise, because if I did get into a international level, then the exposure would be a lot more, and who knows. So
So did you we talked about patents, IP. What have you done to sort of protect yourself?
Yeah, so we submitted a provisional patent just over a year ago, which was fantastic. That was for our preliminary design, as well as our latest prototype. So we did a revised provisional patent application based on my newest design, which is great. The patent process is actually really complicated. So
very.
I don't know if I will go into it in too much detail, but essentially this process takes years. Yeah. So the provisional
So where
is
have you filed your patent? Have you filed it Australia, the provisional? Just Australia? Yeah.
But more recently, we did file a PCT, which is a Patent Corporation Treaty, which allows us to file a full-fledged patent application internationally to all the major countries, basically, with the ability to backtrack the date. I hope I'm saying this correct. I'm no lawyer, but
we'll get the lawyer on for the next issue.
Yeah, that's it. Someone can probably confirm that for me, but that's my understanding of the process. So the steps are all in place, and we've proved that it's innovative. We've proved that it's we've done the research for it as well. In fact, some of our main competitors didn't even show up as our as like a primary reference within our patentability search, because innovation is so different. So that was the patents process. I'm just thinking, going back to the 3 sort of triggers that left. Which essentially resulted in me leaving my job, was that first comp. That Present Around the World competition following uni. And I remember one of the panel members came up to me after the presentation. I don't remember his name either, or the context of it, but he quite literally came up to me and said, "You need to leave your job right now and work on this."
Yeah. So somebody saw something in that idea that's like, it's that validation. That you can't really, as you say, you can't put your finger on it. It's not necessarily a monetary validation, but if it's somebody that you admire or in business and they've gone, you need to pursue this, that sort of, it does give you a little bit more confidence that you might be onto something.
Absolutely, yeah. So it did give me confidence, but I was also just a fresh uni student. I was so, I've been working so hard to get this degree and to get this job, and
You're
this
a bit
position.
sort of like, I've got to give it a bit of time and a bit of go.
Exactly, yeah.
But
So
it exposes you to other things. So it probably, even though you gave up your job, the exposure that you would have had in that company, operationally, exposed strategically to decision making, structure, all that. Sometimes it's an extension of your uni life that you can then bring into what you're actually doing now.
Yeah, you couldn't have described that more perfectly. Like that is, again, I treat it as a blessing that I did end up continuing to work. I learned so much at GHD. I had some of the best mentors there as well. Obviously in the engineering space, but I did ultimately move into project management, and then I did quite a bit of design management towards the end of my career.
And so them in itself are very, very transferable.
Exactly,
with what you're doing. So what did you actually do next? So 6 months ago, all in?
All in, yeah. So we've kind of gone full circle, because about 12 months ago, following the award of the Young Entrepreneur of the Year, which was fantastic.
Do you get nominated for that, or do you submit your own? How does that process?
I had no idea I was up for the award. So I remember sitting at a sort of an end of year sort of celebration or an awards night, which I wasn't actually aware was an awards night, and they were announcing the winner, I guess, and everyone. I remember I was sitting in a room with a bunch of other young entrepreneurs that I had been working with for a period of time. Everyone was saying, "Oh, Jesse, I think you're a chance for this. Like we think you're the favorite for this award." I'm like, "What award?" I had absolutely no idea. So
were you working in like an innovation hub, or is that what you were working in? So that's what I'm saying, because you were saying you're surrounded by other young entrepreneurs. Were you in that kind of innovation hub?
Yeah, it was with the South Australian Business Chamber. I believe they might have changed names now. The course back then, or not course, the program they had was the Say Yes program, so the South Australian Young Entrepreneur Scheme. And that was, there were a bunch of other young entrepreneurs similar to myself that all had fantastic ideas, and it was so great working, that was my first experience actually working with other people doing, at a similar stage to where I was, business planning, and really.
And that was really good from a peer perspective as well.
Absolutely, yeah. You get the perspective from everyone. You learn a little bit of everything, which is super essential when you're a startup. And the whole purpose of that was to build a really good understanding of obviously your business, and to build a thorough business plan as well to help you get to market. So I spent so much time on that. It was fantastic, and I think that all contributed to that award, along with the success at the Adelaide 500 that I had at the time.
So that worked really well.
Yeah,
the Adelaide 500.
It did. So obviously, I think following 2019, that competition going on hold and then COVID hitting, I took about 3 years off just to focus on my business. My full-time job. So I didn't work on Cusion much during that time, until there was another trigger event later on, where I had an experience where I essentially waited 20 minutes and $24 for an espresso martini at a rooftop bar.
I was going to ask about, you've mentioned everything about that, but I'm there going, there has got to be a time element to this, because I know it's like when you go to a bar, and I do it with my girlfriend's rooftop bar, you'll order like 3 espresso martinis or something, and 20 minutes later, you're like, oh, okay.
So Cusion was obviously on my mind at the time. I remember it was a busy rooftop bar. It was after the FA Cup final. I follow the EPL.
Yeah.
I'm a Manchester United fan.
Okay, we've got. Maybe we need to stop now, because I'm from Liverpool.
Oh no!
But yeah,
controversial. Yeah,
no,
I mean, if it helps, we lost.
I know, which is even better. FA, my friend, I've got some friends that'll be cursing me now. But anyway, FA Cup final. So you're there trying to celebrate.
Yeah, but we lost, so I wanted to seek some solace, I guess, and to just have a drink, just to at least enjoy the night. So I went to order an espresso martini with a group of friends. Cusion was fresh on my mind. We were given a table number to sit away from the bar because it was just that busy. We sat away. I timed it. Took 20 minutes, $24. And the sort of comparison I always give is the dinner I ordered earlier that night came out quicker and cost less than that single cocktail. And I said, no, this is a problem.
Which is why you're probably also focusing on venues as well as in-home.
That's correct. Yeah, we're actually launching to businesses first. So
when is the launch going to happen?
We're planning for October this year, which is insane. There's a lot of things to do before then, but fully.
So the machine's designed?
That's correct. Yeah. So I have a prototype literally in my kitchen at home that I'm constantly tinkering and working on.
I know Sam introduced us, and Sam showed me in your kitchen.
It's come a long way. So finished the prototyping, updating drawings, and looking to manufacture very, very soon. So
that's so exciting.
It is, yeah.
So do you think you've still got that entrepreneurial mindset of maybe not as stringent as you were with the spreadsheet, but you spot those problems and instantly go into a solution?
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. It's a bit hard because I'm obviously trying to focus on Cusion, one thing at a time, but I have noticed I just have that sort of idea where I'm always trying to find a solution to every problem.
So October 25. So I reckon the way we work with our recordings, it's probably going to be incredibly timely, this episode. I think it'll probably go out towards maybe mid to September.
Yeah, gotcha.
So which would be fantastic. So we will incorporate it into your marketing activities as well for your launch. I'm super excited. I am going to make some great connections. We went to a networking event this morning, so I've got some really good things there that can help. I definitely think you are solving a problem. And I think during this time, with some of the issues within the hospitality and the venue area, I think it's also very, very timely. Jess, so I wish you all the very best. But for our viewers and listeners, if they want to know more about Cusion, what could they do?
No, thank you. You summarized that perfectly. Yeah. Obviously, feel free to check out our Instagram. I'm still getting used to the marketing and having people get involved, but it's Cusion_ADL.
Yeah.
You can also visit our website at www.cusion.com.au.
I'm going to help our listeners because Cusion is Cusion, which is why I may, in my little bit of a mishap, got the pronunciation.
Yeah.
So Cusion is Cusion.
Yeah. I always say to think of it like a quick or quality fusion. It's
we see you gave the secret away. Jess, thank you so much for being on The Glass Ceiling.
Thank you for having me.
Tuning in to this episode of The Glass Ceiling. If you've liked what you heard, please subscribe, as we'd love to have you as part of our community. We're grateful to our guests for sharing their inspiring stories and insights with us. This podcast was brought to you by Wavebreaker. Join us next time as we shatter the glass ceiling, one story at a time.